Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week we're talking all about tax evasion. You've probably heard of it, the Panama Papers, the Pandora Papers, whatever's being leaked this week in terms of the tax of financial secrecy. Well, today we're going to be talking a little bit about that and Tony Blair and how he's been caught up in the scandal. Some of the tax reliefs that he utilised, the clever tax planning which has been leaked. I'm going to give you the deep dive on how this works and how you can take advantage of this too. But before we get stuck in, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on so you get notified as soon as we post brand new tax saving videos. Okay, so this week the Pandora Papers have been leaked with loads of information being leaked. I think 2.5 terabytes, similar to the Panama Papers. Loads of famous politicians and government leaders being caught up and implicated in this in terms of owning London property through offshore vehicles. There's a lot of tax evasion that's gone on allegedly in terms of ownership and income not being declared. That's pretty much always tax evasion, which is illegal. So we'll run through some recent articles now. So we've got here, reported by the BBC, we've got about the Czech Prime Minister's failure to declare an offshore investment company used to purchase 2 French villas for 12 million. Almost always a failure to declare income is tax evasion. This is what you want to avoid. You know, this is not something that is encouraged by any accountants, any tax advisors at all. Essentially, when you do not declare income to HMRC, 99 times out of 100, this is illegal, it's tax evasion, and we do not recommend it. You will get caught, and essentially the penalties and interest for failing to declare income sources are very significant, even more so when it relates to overseas income. So what we're going to run through is the Blairs, Tony Blair and his wife. Allegedly they've been caught up in this because they saved £312,000 in tax, stamp duty there. So they saved £312,000 in stamp duty by using some clever tax planning which we've actually implemented for clients in the past. Essentially what happens is they were looking to buy a commercial premises, and when you purchase a property you pay stamp duty. So whether you buy it personally or a limited company buys it, you're going to pay stamp duty as the purchaser of that property. Now what they did was they purchased the shares of the company that owned the property. So the vendor would have had a limited company. I think in this case it was overseas. Here it makes no difference at all from a tax perspective. They had an overseas company which owned a UK, it was based in London, a commercial premises of which stamp duty would have been due by the Blairs if they would have purchased that of around $312,000. But what they did instead was purchase the shares of that company rather than buying the actual property itself off of that limited company as a seller. So rather than them owning the property, they now own the shares in that company, which is the company that owns that property. So of course there are many downsides to this as well. You need to do a lot of due diligence when purchasing that property because you inherit all of the legal, financial and trading risks of that limited company. If that limited company has done anything wrong in the past, it's underdeclared its taxes, you as the new owner of the shares, the owner of that company, you're now responsible for that and you would suffer if it needs to be put right. So there's a lot more due diligence that needs to be required. Also, you do not purchase the property at its current value. You're buying the shares, not the property. So when it comes to sell the property later on, if there's a capital gain, you're basically going to inherit the cost of what that company purchased it for. So when it comes to sell the property, there's likely going to be a higher capital gain than you would have had if you had just purchased a property outright. That said, you've got the potential to save all of that stamp duty. So when you purchase the shares in that limited company, you're going to pay stamp duty reserve tax, which is 0.5% over £1,000. It is a damn sight less than stamp duty land tax would have been, and is how the Blairs managed to save £312,000. So there we have it, guys. If you're looking to purchase large, expensive properties where the stamp duty is significant, speak to your tax advisor, speak to your solicitor to see what the opportunities might be in buying the shares in the company rather than buying the actual property itself. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please do make sure you hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe so you get notified as soon as we post more fantastic tax saving content. That's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching.